It is not your imagination. This is actually 2 streams in one day, although this one I probably will actually leave up. I uh I was basically deciding I want to do some stuff with OpenBSD and looking at it on Vax. Or more specifically, I wanted to look at the commit history of the Vax posts, commits, and maybe see what it would look like to put it on NetBSD, OpenBSD 6. I am a little bit tired. I figured I'd throw the stream up just to do this because I'm going to just install OpenBSD. I'm going to install ports. This is basically my OpenBSD crash course, and I figured this might be funny. So I have used OpenBSD like a handful of times, but I think installing on Vax, yeah. Well, anyway, we're installing it on the laptop. So let's just go for it. Let's just hit install. I guess we're gonna VT2. So what are we gonna call this one? I guess we're going to call this one Git Maker, which I find funny, but I feel like there will be... I'll come up with a better name later. So... Okay. Alright, auto-config. No, that should be fine. Done. Alright. I do want SSHD, and then I do want a SEPA user. I must admit, this is much more pleasant when it doesn't lag. No, I don't need to allow SSH. That's correct. That's correct. Do not encrypt the disk. Use whole disk. It's interesting that it creates an MS-DOS partition. And then it allocates the drive space as follows. Where is all that drive space going? Like, I feel like that's a lot of... That's not even allocating all the space that there is in the system. Do I need to... Because I'm looking at this. I guess it's allocating 22 gigs to the home directory. And it's leaving most of it. Like 7 gigs to var, 6 gigs to user, 9 gigs to user local. I guess that makes sense. I guess there's a part of me that just wants to use one root file system. Oh, I should turn off... Actually, we're not doing OpenBSD, NetBSD with this one. I should turn the... I meant to turn that off on the bot. Let me do that. I'm actually thinking of paying for Streamlabs Ultra so I could also live stream to Twitch. The fact that they no longer have the exclusivity, I'm considering it. I don't know if it's a good or bad thing. Where is the freaking thing for the bot? CloudBot. Here we go. And then we'll just turn off the NetBSD one for now. Alright. And then back to the stream. Well, Slice C is always the whole hard drive, which is... This is a VM. I'm just going to take the auto layout. I also want to build OpenBSD. Like, I kind of just want to get an idea of what this is going to be like. So let me do HTTP. None. That's not what I wanted. Oh, okay, so that's how that works. Server directory. We might as well just install it all. I mean, this is my MacBook Pro, so I have an OpenBSD one going. Sorry, NetBSD one going. But this isn't installing on Vax. We're not going to be here for a while. Or I shouldn't say we're not going to be here for a long, for that many hours. And if we are, something bad has happened. I might even see if we can pop into X. Because, like, this is me learning and experimenting. Because, like, I didn't want to do more video editing, but I wanted to work on projects. And next week looks like I'm going to have no free time. So, like, all of next week I have to do things related to moving. I will not be here, so I might as well do this now because I will have free time, and I'll have free time until this weekend. I shouldn't say it's not so much I have free time as I'm not really saving any time by doing it now versus later, so I might as well try not to like be stressing out about this. So, let's see here. And this is my MacBook Pro. So it's an M2 Apple Silicon machine. I just had this horrible thought that I should check how much disk space I'm actually using. I probably gonna have to do a pretty big disk cleaning in the not so near future. Let's see here. Yeah, so of my 1.8 terabyte, I've got 670 gigs free. So I'm gonna have to do some pretty big space cleaning soon. But I've got some low-hanging fruit that I can definitely clean out, and will be nice to do so. So, to be done. Actually, that's going to be done soon. So. So we'll see what we get out of. Hopefully the audio sounds good. I know that the viewership is fluctuating a bit, but yeah, 39, 40. I think the algorithm is, yeah, the levels look good here on my side. So basically just going to let it all downloads install, and I get some tea. All right. Fresh iced tea makes the world a better place. The screen hasn't updated in a good while. Okay. Alright, so done. Saving config files, making all the device nodes. Just gonna relink. That's gonna be a scary step on Vax. I'm not so masochistic that I would actually do it all on real hardware. I would use SimH. Like, there is a limit. Like, even if it's only OpenBSD 6, I still think that would be cool. If nothing else, I really just want to get an idea of what porting an like what it would take to port an actual operating system. Okay, cool. So we should just be able to reboot now. It might boot off the CD again. No SDA 0. Oh. No, I believe that booted off. Yeah, that did not boot from the, that did not boot from the, hard drive. Let me eject the CD. Alright, and then... let's try that one again. God, that is a lot of partitions. So I guess the next thing I should probably do is start X, although I question how usable it's going to be. Oh yeah, I was warned about this. The libraries now reorder their symbols on startup. It's like, wow. I guess you could probably disable it though. I mean, you have to be able to do it for the install environment, so or for single user. Like, I'm not planning on make all the features work on Vax, although it'd be kind of cool if I actually go that far. I'm not committing to it, but at this point I want to actually look at it with the full Git history, and there is a copy of the CVS on GitHub. It's OpenBSD/source. So I figured, what the hell. All right, can we start X? It's thinking about it. Oh. Maybe? I think I broke it. Yeah, chat, I think I broke it. Okay, I guess we're not doing that. Let me see if I can SSH and kill 9 that. Alright, and speaking of which, I also... I don't even know what IP address that is. You know, I'm just gonna have to hard reboot it. Like, I don't even know where that's attached to my network. Assuming I can reboot it, because it seems to have eaten my mouse. How about we force stop? And go? Okay. Okay, there we go. Right, so lesson learned, do not try and run X on this. Alright. So let's switch over. So as soon as we get the network back... Ooh, wow, there's a file. Once we get this back up, let's switch over to retro cool terminal. We'll switch on to an SSH session. Just so I have an actual terminal. That would be lovely. I'm on Wi-Fi. It's just due to the way I don't have a... For some reason, neither of my USB-C hubs with Ethernet seem to be working. So it's a little bit irk-a-dirk because, again, it's Wi-Fi. Although I'm not getting a warning from YouTube that I'm dropping packets. Usually I get a banner if it's unhappy. They'll probably just maintain X for themselves, to be in all honesty. Basically, everything that's not Linux is staying on X, and maybe they'll adopt Wayland in the future, but I also doubt it. I mean, there's a lot of X has been the mainstay for a long reason, and frankly, for the BSDs, I don't think there's a real reason to adopt Wayland, even if it's just keeping the libraries going. Oh, FreeBSD supports Wayland. I was not aware of that. All right, so now that one's up and running. So let me figure out where this thing is on the network. Okay, so it's .9. So let's... give me 1 second. All right. So let's now switch the view over to Cool Retro Term. I think I'm going to have to maintain a fork of Cool Retro Term at some point. It's just got a few bugs that I would really want to fix. It also has a couple of other annoyances that I would have to debug, but again, I would like to fix. There we go, Infinity Way Local. And then, I can move this. Oh, that is not what I wanted to do. So the question is, what theme should we go with today? Although, I probably should actually save this theme because this is a color reduced one. So, effects, general, save, less blurry amber. I kind of like Apple II a lot. Like, I like that look a lot. There's the monochrome green. Or oh wow, that is blurry. That is properly blurry. Oh, I think we found our console session. I think I'm good with this. I am very good with this. So, one of the things I do know about NetBSD is it has the ports collection, and pretty much, like, all the BSDs have ports. Although I guess it's not installed by default. Okay, let's learn how to install OpenBSD ports. So, working with ports, how to fetch the tree. So what it says to do is to go to temp. We want to download the ports tree. Okay. Let's see here. How are we doing? I'm using Cool Retro Term. Okay. Well, all right. Wayland, I guess Wayland is the future. I wonder if we'll see Wayland on Illumos at some point, if that's the case. Like, I'm still learning about the BSD ecosystem, and I still haven't decided offhand if I really want to get into OS development again, but I also feel like part of me really, if nothing else, I have 1 or 2 projects I do actually want to do that's OS dev. Whether I go back into it as a system engineer or as a career working again, because after I'm through this move, I should be able to live, I should be able to have my life expenses to about a quarter to a half of what they are. That means realistically, if I can get my personal life income between 20 to 30K per year, like, which should be entirely doable even off YouTube and Patreon income, I could work, like, that is returning to work even if it's not full-time, returning to financial independence, even if a massive asterisk, would be such a fucking win for me. I... Especially if I could do it with something I don't hate, because I feel like people are actually really enjoying watching my BSD adventures. I don't know if I'm the only I know I'm not the only BSD content on YouTube, but I'm probably the only one doing BSD dev work on YouTube. So, I actually have running on the other user account. I am running NetBSD as automated test framework. I have been getting into talking about NetBSD VAX development. So what I might end up doing, this will be an unattended stream. I won't be talking on it. If I should not have, I don't think I should have V'd this. In fact, I'm actually pretty sure I'll let it run because at least it's content. Like V, it's probably going a lot slower because of the V, but I also like seeing progress. Well, I mean, I'm on ARM64. Let's see here. My understanding is for... Okay, so you can use the precompiles. I guess I don't actually need to use ports, but... If I want to use ports... hold on. Let me Control-C this. We'll have to do that if we actually do anything serious with VAX, but maybe I don't actually need to do this, and... Because I thought ports on FreeBSD was the way you're supposed to do it, but I guess on NetBSD they want you to do binaries? Question mark? So here, NetBSD install packages. So package add. Okay, so if I want to do like package info q git. Does that work? Well, it shows... Like, there's no git. Do I have... I assume if I have bash... I do have bash. So I have bash, but I have bash, but I don't have git. We might as well, while we're here, we might as well go with the, we're probably going to have to build things from source. Like, there's a reason I'm using a completely fresh VM for this, and I'm recording it, because I'm probably going to have to do this more than once. And if I've recorded my pain for future... the VOD will stay up. I will be able to look for quick reference to figure out what I have to do to make this work. Can we get a... I don't know, a wget or a curl, or, both? Because we should run neofetch while we're here. People keep telling me I should upgrade to something else, but this has been the standard on the channel for a while, and it's like... Oh, God, I'm in a place today. Like, I don't even know what my mood is. I need to do package info QA. Alright. The BSDs, from what I've seen, have basically continued from the Berkeley days largely uninterrupted. Okay, that's that. So let's make with tradition. That's surprisingly slow. I really do like that monochrome though. Like that just looks nice. Although that also looks nice. The fish looks like, I believe the actual fish has that, but still it looks a little goofy. Yeah, I gotta say, of all the ones, this is the one that I'm currently feeling the most right now. Like, I'm gonna have to make some terminal themes, but I think monochrome is just my mood right now. Okay, so let me see here. Package info QA tells me what I have. Can I just package at git? If I don't have git, I'm going to just have to go to ports and compile it. Apparently it's there. Nope, error. Oh no, that's a Perl 5 package. That's not an actual error. Okay, I guess it works. Yeah, it's cool retro term. Mostly because I'm in the mood to play with BSD. It's just, I'm live streaming the stuff that I normally do offline just because it's what I've been doing. So, this is just BioBu. It's and it's the host system. So this is my MacBook Pro. Let's see here. Okay. So so the next thing we need to do is we need to I need rsync is what I need actually. Because we need to rsync down the /s. I don't need ICOV support, so I'm just going to grab that one. We need the /v files, so I need to rsync those down. You know, I should actually put CVS. Let's see here, cvs2git in the title, because you know what, people are going to look this up. All right. The music is appropriate. I actually have it on for once. So source CVS, because they do let you rsync down the. It's called repo sync. So do I actually have that tool? I do not. Alright, so it says here how to mirror the repository. So I might as well just follow the actual instructions here. Because if I actually end up doing this, I will probably have to learn how to do this properly. So let's do add user CVS. Install do CVS. All right, so where can we grab this? Okay, so we can grab it from anon civ1 rsa openbsd.org cvs. And then home CVS. That's not going to be fast. Oh, okay, so it actually does process CVS root changelog. So this is actually crunching files. So okay, I'm reading the document. So this will basically just download the everything as needed. Then I have to figure out how to turn this into a Git repo. I will probably have to do this twice because I'm probably going to just set up an automated something for it, just because it's a really freaking useful thing to have. But I would really want to have the tag data from OpenBSD. So it is downloading. It's not downloading fast, but it is downloading. And away it goes. This is going to take a bit of time. If you enjoy this content, please like and support. Please like and subscribe. Wow, my brain. I'm honestly considering setting a funding goal on if just doing NetBSD, like actual NetBSD development. Like, as I said, I'm figuring out. I'm currently running the ATF test suite. It's currently the NetBSD VAX port, which is seeing kind of a renaissance. It's got about 800 test failures, but I would have to actually run the entire test suite from end to end, and maybe that's a thing I will actually do. Wow, this is going to be surprisingly slow. Like, at the rate it's downloading. Can we download this faster? Like, I'm downloading from... You know, there's actually a closer server to me. There's actually a repo in New York. So let me actually use that one instead. That's server 4. Hopefully it's faster. It's rsync, so it should just go... I guess that's faster? I don't know, I think we're just going to have to wait unless there's a download for this, but I think rsync is just not going to be fast. I mean, those are some pretty hefty /v files. The whole thing in total is... It's approximately, I need to make sure I'm on a file system with enough disk space for this. EDFH. That is not going to have enough disk space. No, /home will. We're good. We are good. I should have probably just made it one big giant partition. Like, why did I do this? I don't know why I did this. Alright. We're installing in a VM on my MacBook Pro. I just want to convert this as a one-shot, and this is me learning OpenBSD a little bit better. So right now, it's a matter of download it, install it. I have an explicit path to home/CVS, but I'm a little bit worried about it actually running out of disk space. I feel like I didn't give it enough, but we'll see. Like, I'm not sure how bad or how hard this is going to be. So that's audio. I don't know, it's probably going to take about 20 minutes for this to download. I kind of accepted the defaults just because... I mean, you know, that's a fair point. Why did I accept the defaults? But let's just see how far I get here. I'm probably going to just need to reinstall it. So knowing the actual pitfalls is important. That being said, with most of the disk space on /home, it seems okay, question mark, because in theory this should be able to hold all the unused space in the file system should go to /home. I can always add a second hard drive if it really comes down to that. I'm also curious if like some of these benchmarks I would love to run, especially on the VAX port. That would just be kind of funny. I assume Unix bench would work. I'm going to step away from keyboard for a little bit while this checks out. I'm just throwing stuff in boxes and moving around, so I'll be around and checking in. I'll be back in a little bit, though. Well, we're the converters, so it's definitely getting there. My guess is we probably got about another 20 minutes before it downloads it all, though. Well, we're in the D's. I've always wondered, like... I really do wonder why they have kept using CVS. Maybe it's just because it's what they've used for so long, but I think is FreeBSD still using CVS, or did they finally? I think they migrated. I want to say they migrated to HG, but I don't know if that's just me sitting here. Yeah, but NetBSD still uses CVS, although NetBSD also still works on a VAX. So, like, I mean, realistically, from what I understand, only a very few people, like, only the core team has access to that CVS repo, and everything else comes from the mailing list. So it's not like it's that big of, CVS's biggest problems is when you're dealing with a large dev team that largely works asynchronously. Git is designed to deal with. Git works great with GitHub, but I understand why the BSDs are still using CVS. Oh, that's right. They were on P4. I remember that was one of my very first encounters with PeerForce. You had to download the binary client, and then you could download it from the depot. I really should use FreeBSD for something, but for the life of me, I don't know what. Oh, I just saw cvs2git go by in ports. I don't know if it works, but if it's in ports, that's a place to start. Yeah, I've heard that there's PeerForce or P4 is they were like the original mono repo. I've heard ClearCase works that way, but I have no firsthand experience with it. Just I remember people used to complain about ClearCase on Daily WTF. But the thought that I've been having right now is when we look at the tool chain, and this is one of the main reasons I want to look at it in Git, because I really need something that's not complete garbage. Yes, I could do it with CVS, but I think I just hate my life. GitHub's web UI is nice. So, FreeBSD to me feels like the not Linux. I don't know how to describe it beyond that. Hey, Space Wolf Jr. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't think I've ever done a second stream in one day, but I just didn't want to do video editing, but this gremlin in my brain of the idea of at least trying to see what it would take to make a new build of OpenBSD VAX. My understanding is that the main reason, looking at Theo's posts, I think the two things that it really came down to was the toolchain was in really bad shape, and it was a very slow architecture. Spark support went basically right, it was time for the old architectures to go off and die. Well, right now what I want to try and do is I want to keep it, I want to be able to have the tags and history, so I think just running it through cvs2git, assuming I can get it to work, but like I said, I just saw it in the ports repo. So if that actually exists, then that is the quote-unquote solution. How far into this is this actually gone? Because it hasn't even got, ports is probably the longest part it's going to run through. But yeah, this is going to take I didn't think it was going to take that long to rsync, but it's going to take that long to rsync. So whatever. It's interesting. Like, the other thing that I'm learning from this is how I hate to use the term audience, but it is the better way to describe people who are just watching my videos versus being involved in Discord. But basically seeing how they respond to the bell and alert notifications. My thought would be to use the NetBSD toolchain, yeah. I was looking at it a bit earlier, and it is apparently possible to mostly cross-compile OpenBSD. You still have to do OpenBSD on OpenBSD, but it is possible. You can't quite build the whole thing. Ironically enough, the toolchain itself cannot be. You can't cross build it, but you should be able to get a full NFS root. And if you can get a full NFS root, I can just manually pack up the tarballs. And, like, I'm not looking for perfect. I'm looking for good enough. And honestly, I'd probably make the source code available, and I'd probably make this like a $5. Shoot me $5. Get the pre-compiled binaries. Otherwise, you can build it from source. That might be actually what I end up doing with this, but I don't know. I haven't decided exactly what I want to do, like what the end game goal is here. Like, there's no point in making well, we'll see. I will basically take it with my mood, I think is the right answer here. Yeah, I also, well, no, I know CVS2 SVN has cvs2git into it, but we still need the V files, so there's no point in installing it until we watch the. I'm assuming. I mean, unless it's actually, I don't think this would be stalling due to the console. Like, it could be. You know what? Let's find out. Hold on. Let me yeah, let me see if I can. Let me see if I redirect it to a file, if it will actually go faster. See, so I'm learning to run BioBoo as the outer screen session, and I'm running screen on the inner one. Okay, cool. Alright, so is this actually going any faster? So, okay, it's probably still catching up. I have that feeling that this is not actually any faster. Could be wrong, but we'll see. If not, I'll just let it run. I still have more of these cone incense. I gotta buy more. I keep forgetting to do that when I go out. Alright, I guess it's no faster doing it this way. It's whatever's in Homebrew. It's literally what shipped in Homebrew. Because I decided not to run it out of the repo, so I just ran it in Homebrew. I probably should run NeoFetch on the MacBook Pro, but lazy. I mean, that's really the only way to. That's how I'm feeling a little bit right now, a little lethargic. Oh yeah, that is a typo in the title. Thank you for pointing that out. Because I want to see the tags. I want to see the branches. Because what I was looking through the history on GitHub, and the VAX support was removed for over several builds. I'm also going to have to try and get the damn thing to build with the NetBSD toolchain, which on one hand, I could entirely see Theo patching GCC to do something like, I don't know, and put a random number in every fucking binary, or to remove a random number from every binary. Like, I could see them patching GCC. I just don't know if they would patch GCC to the point that I couldn't coax the net. Realistically speaking, what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to take the NetBSD 10 GCC and compile it for an OpenBSD target. This should hypothetically work. They are based on this. They're not that different. There's a lot of DNA crossover, and I can't see FIA. And the fact of the matter is that OpenBSD's VAX port didn't support shared libraries. I think that was a toolchain limitation. So it's realistically wanting .a files and adding shared library. And as from what I saw on NetBSD, we had shared libraries. I mean, if we don't, we don't. But that's kind of why I want to take a look at it. If it's not possible, it's not possible. But this will make it much easier to tell. This is going to... I did not appreciate how long this was going to take to rsync. Oh, well. Because this is going to take a lot of time. This is... From what I remember, this is a... I have actually... I didn't do it with CVS, but I've done Subversion to Git a couple of times. And I remember that was not a fast process. I think I'm going to have to attach... Well, we'll see where we are when we check out. But you know what? I can... I wonder how hard it would be to do... I'm thinking about this because, you know, now I think I'm going to need two separate repos. You know what? I'll cross that bridge when I get to it, because, you know what, if I have to learn how to add a second hard drive, I will just learn to add a second hard drive. I don't think it won't, what's, Mod 6? I am not very familiar with OpenBSD. Like, me porting OpenBSD to a newer VAX 1 version is me learning how the BSDs work. Mod 6 is a management system for parallel computing on Linux clusters and multi-cluster clouds. Interesting. I feel like there's ways to get... Like, this cannot be maxing out my bandwidth. I guess I must be throttled from the upstream. It's the only thing that makes sense. I need the tags. I not only need the tags, I also need the branches. Because ultimately speaking, I'm going to be going from... I'm not going to go all the way to the latest. I would go from 5 to 6 to 7 to 8. And so... Well, not to 8, but... I'd go through the intermediate versions. And so having the whole history on Git means that I can get rebase. So I actually do want this on Git for multiple reasons. So, alright. Well, I think we're just going to have to let it rsync. I have absolutely no problems in doing this. While I do that... I'm just like, I'm just currently looking through the various messages. Although the idea of sending the D message to OpenBSD, I think someone would be less than amused if I actually did it. Did you? Oh God, that I remember when that was. I remember when that was a headline. That was a talking point. That actually. Sorry, that actually amused me. All right, I'll be back to checking this in a little bit. I'm gonna go make something in the kitchen. All right. Hey, we're in the education area now. LLV. Well, the thing is that VAX support isn't actually that hard to add. As long as your toolchain isn't that hard to retarget, it's not Itanium. And I mean, realistically, like it's not actually that complex of an architecture. It just has a lot of opcodes. So if you don't actually care about performance, so it is definitely making progress though. It's fascinating that all this stuff has been ported to OpenBSD. I wonder how many packages in total are in there. The compiler can be understood by mere mortals. Well, as far as games go, we know that OpenBSD supports Connect 4. Ooh, Micropolis. If we want to play SimCity, we could. Some of these are like I saw Mora. That's a one of the earliest roguelikes. Let's see here. What was OpenNRA? I'm hope. Let's see here. Pioneer, Poker, Postal, PR Boom. Quake. Oh, no, I'm not even going to voice that thought because I've already had a really bad one about Doom. There was Slash'em, which was a NetHack fork. It's like, how many packages here do we recognize? Super Tux. Oh, God. Super Tux is like the game that everyone would like try and say that, look, it has games. It has one racing game and source ports. This was like late 90s, early 2000s Linux. I used to play X-Bill a lot. Like, some of these I remember. Like, my feeling is like going back to BSDs reminds me a lot of when I felt like I really liked Linux. Let's see here. Let's see here. Well, we're in the G's, so now we're in the graphics. Alright. Let's see here. Like, I remember source control before Git, sorry, and it was bad. I wonder why NetBSD is still on CVS. I'm assuming it's just inertia. Like, I can't imagine... Well, maybe. I mean, like I said, CVS has the advantage of being very simple. Maybe... I don't... You know what? Let me see if there's an explanation. They have to have an FAQ about this. Yeah. So see, I'm just currently looking, see here. Yeah, I'm just like, I mean, I'm surprised there's not even one that has all the tags, but... Eh. Yeah, unfortunately, this is the type of thing where it's going to suck real hard because CVS never dealt with file removal well, and it doesn't have any idea of a patch set. It works on a per file thing. Like this, I can understand why FIO would not want to use Git, but it just would make things annoying if I had to actually try and do something with CVS. Like, just pulling the patches out where VAX support was deleted would be obnoxious if I had to do it pure CVS, because I would have to go to each file manually, revert the commit that deleted that individual file to take it out of the attic, and then commit that as a new commit on the file, because there's no atomic commits. The repo does not have a version. At least on Subversion, it would have been a single reversion. Oh god, that just pun. Yeah. CVS is what I remember. Why is there EGCS in there? Oh no, sorry, that was in the attic, but wow, that was like a PTSD flashback scrolling by. Because remember, this is also getting deleted files. If it's attic, then it's actually been deleted from the archive, from the repo. Yeah, like we are literally looking at all the things that have ever been included in the OpenBSD ports repo. At least their Git patches are separate, so if I have to make a GCC 10 patch, it shouldn't be that terrible. God, it's the eyes emoji always gets me. Like, I don't know what it is about that one specific emoji. Don't say what. Apparently, Black Coffee Drinker let OpenBSD start up on the VAX, since he's getting some footage from me, and apparently let the SSH key generate. It was... Yes, I would imagine it would be slow. Imagine mono on a VAX. That would be slow. We'll get the PUBG the tapes. That would explain ARRL and why they put the goddamn public keys on a postcard. Or, well, they verify with a postcard, but yeah. Wasn't PowerShell ported to Linux and presumably is in the ports collection somewhere for some operating system? Like, PowerShell, but it's on FreeBSD. Oh god, that is a cursed video. That is a properly cursed video. Do I hate myself enough to use PowerShell? EGCS was removed from OpenBSD proper and was described at the time as the least bogus compiler we had. Wow, that is damning GCC in faint praise. No, I didn't nerd set myself because we're just r-syncing. Like, I'm just this is like just a stupid shit post. Like, I could do this easier. Well, no, I guess like I could either make OpenBSD 5.8 run on arm64, which would be funny in a different way, but I still kind of like the idea of trying to see if I can make that VAX run OpenBSD. Create a new OpenBSD version for it to actually run. Now it's looking at tickle. What really amazes me is how all FreeBSDs have completely different ports repos. Yeah, I remember someone was trying that I think OpenBSD was trying to resurrect PCC. I think they got it working for i386, but that was it. Like, although, you know, if they've got PCC working with OpenBSD, there's a pretty good chance I would be able to feed OpenBSD through the NetBSD compiler and get a working end image. I'm not above tinkering with GCC's brain, but question mark? Like, I don't know if I'd go as far as to add shared library support to OpenBSD, although I guess it really boils down to how difficult it would be, because I did see a lot of code got jettisoned out of libm for non-IEEE, and I don't think OpenBSD still supports anything non-IEEE, which might mean that there might be a hard limit of how easy/hard this is going to be to get going again. But that's why I want to be able to have the tree so I can walk down the branches. So I can compare OpenBSD 7.3 to 5.8 to 6.1, for instance. Something I can't do with the repository in the current state it's in without having to use very slow CVS commands. I mean, with a local copy, yes, it's doable, but this is going to be easier with Git. So, like, if nothing else, I'm considering paying for Streamlabs Ultra so I can also live stream to Twitch. I don't know if I really want to. The problem is I don't know how well I can moderate on Twitch and YouTube at the same time. I might ask on Discord, or I'd run a Patreon poll about it and see how people feel. I might do it regardless of the poll being against it. this brings me back to like my early years of Canonical. It's like in some ways that wasn't a good time in my life. It's something I, like I said, I will write about some point because I'm getting to the point I'm closing a chapter of my life, and I Canonical was a big part of it, but it also was the representation of a lot of what went wrong. No, I'm not blaming Canonical for that part, although it certainly didn't help things, but the fact that of how I ended up there. Alright. Yeah, I'll look at it later because it's annoying to get on email right now. Yeah, but getting Twitch partner. Well, the thing is that if I dual stream over to Twitch, some people just watch it on Twitch, and now that they've gone rid of the exclusivity requirement, there's nothing actually stopping me from dual streaming to Twitch. And back when I was active with DEF CON 201, I live streamed on both Twitch and YouTube through Restream. I never did that with Twitch. I have the Twitch account, NCommander. That is my account. Originally, I live streamed with Twitch rarely. I did some Dwarf Fortress ones that I actually exported the VODs to YouTube, but I did delete those. They were one of the very few things I deleted when I started using this channel again, because I believe they had copyrighted music in them, and I was applying for monetization. I kind of regret doing that, but it's like I wasn't going to stitch them back together either, so like whatever. And then I got hired by Mixer, so I streamed on Mixer. And when I decided to come back to streaming, well, I mean, I didn't decide to come back to streaming. I just decided to make videos during the pandemic. So because I wasn't living here at that point. I believe the first 7 videos I filmed in New York. I've been in New Jersey ever since, and then soon will be, I did not experience that, but I was hired with the company in 2009. I was also known to the company because I was a Motu at the time, Master of the Universe, which meant I had upload rights to about 70% of the archive. So, to the point that Canonical had paid for me to go to Ubuntu Development Summit, like they actually paid for me, and they had the interview for me there at UDS. So my experience there was not what most people would have actually experienced. Yeah. I have had so many mixed feelings on flipping Fetty. Like, given the state of fucking X, it's like, I'm happier on Fetty, but my god, it sucks. Either you have to trust your instance, and a lot of instances suck, like Mastodon.social, I've just heard complaints on. SDF's instance is okay, but like SDF itself, it's slow. I decided to run my own instance, which I'm not thrilled about, but I've also run my own I just saw a game go by of all things. Like, wow, that was an old school package. At this point, I am mostly I'm using Discord as an IRC replacement. I really don't want to run another IRCD in my life. Like, I really don't want to do that. But I also don't like where Discord is going. I haven't liked where it's going in a while, so I might set up a bridge channel to Libre. So one channel on Libre would plug into one channel on Discord. That would also make it possible for retro clients to connect as long as you deal with the TLS termination, which isn't terribly difficult. It's not easy, but it's not hard either. Like, because I know there's bots that can do the Discord IRC connection. We've run Discord pretty close. Yeah, it's like I've dealt with Slack. I've tried Matrix on 3 separate projects, and it, even when you're not federating, it loses messages. It was just garbage. Maybe it's gotten better in the last 2 years, but I have not heard anyone say anything good about active pub chat protocols. If it really came to the point that I needed an emergency replacement, it would probably be Slack. Like, if this was Discord, if Elon Musk bought Discord, I think since SadMac's in chat, SadMac, if in the case of Elon Musk buying Discord, I think Slack would be the winner here, but I would really be unhappy about it. Yeah, it would either be Slack or Teams. Although honestly, I'm just like, maybe it's time to just set my own IRCD in a Gopher server. Like, I have been half tempted to put up an FTL server, like have ftl.restlesssystems, because I've had some thought about running my own RTMP ingest. Um, it's like how I feel about it. I just feel, see, and here's how you can see like one of the big problems with CVS. We saw game to pigeon, and it's like you can't rename files in CVS. All right, I'm back. I mean, as I am right now, what I'm really getting down to is I've really come down to enjoying console life. I've really made a major point of trying to cut out watching YouTube. I'm still going to live stream because unfortunately this is my only income source right now. But I find the very simplistic environment helps a lot. Like, I actually managed to feel like I was being productive in Resolve, which sometimes happens but doesn't happen often. So, like, if live streaming everything relating to my YouTube channel makes it so I can make YouTube channel videos better, then, like, fuck it, I'm just going to do that. I just have to figure out better solutions to some of this because it means I have to have good internet, which I don't always. In fact, I am going to have basically no internet next week, so I might actually put something on Restless Yankee. That's my second channel for those who don't know. It's where I post things that I want to make a video on but are not computing related at all. I have I have restless.systems, and I also have a blog, although I should at some point I'm going to move the blog, because right now I am blogging on Patreon, which works but is not what I'm actually intending to do. More long term, I want to have the End Commander blog, and then probably a more retrotech blog like NeoZaids. But I'm also, my strong point right now is being on YouTube. Um, Setting up a blog, actually doing that is going to be a lot of work. My audience is here, and realistically, I'd be competing with OS2 Museum and Virtually Fun as the two biggest retro blogs. Conversely, I have basically no competition in YouTube. There's very few people who play with ancient Unix on YouTube, and there's no one. I'm the only one who does dev work. Like, I am. I don't have to worry about it because there's very few people on YouTube who can do what I do. So I might as well take advantage of the fact that the algorithm actually. Like, as it stands right now, if basically get for on average each video gets anywhere between $100 and a few $100 depending on how much the algorithm picks it up. It also depends on specifically how much the clicks per what's called the CPM number is. Like, because this is highly technical BSD stuff, these streams are getting very high clicks, revenue from YouTube. So on average from ad revenue, I'm getting about $10 per stream. The YouTube videos, so it also helps with that. Like, it's helping grow the channel. So I'm sorry that I keep talking about money on YouTube. Like, I feel like on one hand, transparency, yay. On the other hand, it's like, do people even care about hearing about this? The old Soylent News posts I copied over to my blog. Soylent News at this point will very hopefully be handed off to a not-for-profit in the next 30 days. I just had an email about that. It has taken almost a year to do it, but is finally going to be a not-for-profit. I am really looking forward to that. It'll be out of my... I would sing the song for Monsters, Inc., but I don't want to get a Content ID flag. I can... You know what? Let me reduce the terminal blah. Let me reduce it then if it's that bad. Hold on. I can make that... That's not what I'm looking for. I think it's just the burn-in I have to lower. How's that look? Yeah, okay, that should help a bit. I reduced it. We're in security. That's what OpenBSD is known for. So down to system utilities. So looks like it's most of the way there. Oh, U-boot, man, there's a package that just makes me depressed. Not so much because U-boot's bad software, but just because I find it in so many places where it's just not being used. It's like the universal solution to knowing that everything is going to have a patch. Because I don't think I've ever built upstream U-boot and have it work on something. I guess it probably works on a Pi. It's like the one thing I could think that upstream U-boot works on. Oh god, I just had the really cursed idea of U-boot on a VAX, but I'm just gonna walk away from that one. It's booting via U-boot. Did they not? Uh, did they? Did they? That just makes me sad. I didn't know that. I thought they were either starting off iBoot directly, or they were providing UEFI. I had not looked all that closely. Okay, so the situation has gotten better in recent years. Okay, you know what? That's kind of good to know. I mean, Marcan and Lena, from what Marcan I followed back when he was doing Wii hacking stuff. Like he's always like impressed me. So but the whole project has been like probably one of the best enablement projects I have ever seen for ARM. Period. They have done better. They've done better than a lot of the profession. Like, let me say that a lot of the corporate efforts. Well, today is proving not to be a bad day. It's just proving to be a. I would like to do more video editing, but it's like, fuck that noise. Like, I did 5 hours. I got 5 minutes done. I recorded the voiceover. This does not drain as much mental energy from me, because right now I'm just watching this progress bar with you guys. It's very zen, so to speak. Like, this is the sort of thing that you would see me do for 2 hours between streams. Like, I never had to quite go this far, but like when I did the original SLS Linux stuff, I probably spent about 3 days working out the patch. No, actually, it wasn't that long. It was probably more like a day, but it took me a while to actually figure out how to patch the SLS installer. That one was kind of annoying. Because I had promised to do that one on real hardware if it met certain view goals, and it did. So I'd figure I should, like, there's nothing worse than fucking clickbait that, like, clickbait is one thing. It's clickbait that doesn't deliver. I don't know. It's like, at this point, I feel like if I go back, I really see, I don't see myself doing Linux in the future. I have been unhappy with the state of Linux for a long time, and it's like, I cannot work up a dam to do development, but I gotta tell you, working on NetBSD has kind of been a breath of fresh air, and even if it doesn't actually, like, the dream is to find employment, and especially employment that I could make content with. Which would be free and open source stuff. But if I could find something on the BSDs, it would be really, really nice. Or if, I mean, honestly, I'm tempted to do, like, I don't know if a Kickstarter is the right way to do it, a Patreon funding goal. But like I said, we'll see how far I actually get. The next step I would probably need to do is I'd probably have to run the entire ATF test suite on VAX, which means I'd have to run it in SimH and probably let it run for a while. Illumos ARM, it boots to multi-user, and I was able to build Bash. Illumos as a whole, the people that are using Illumos this day and age are using it for embedded or non-user facing solutions. The user land feels a little bit rotted. Like, I had issues with OmniOS. Open Indiana, I had a really bad interaction with its dev. I really want to like Illumos, but I find that I just don't. It feels overly complicated in places, and it's like, combined with a fragile build system, and let me put it like this. My Illumos experience left a bad enough taste in my mouth that I decided to shelf the video I was working on simply so I wouldn't let my mood go into it. I do want to actually pull Illumos ARM back out and make a video on it, but the last go around was such a miserable experience that it would basically just been me bitching about the project, and that would have not been fair to Illumos, because part of what happened was not their fault, and I'm not going to hold them responsible for the actions of one developer being an ass on Mastodon. But it's also the type of thing of why I didn't ask for help in the project in the first place. It's like, I have been doing this now. The earliest end commander spotting, the earliest end commanding error post that anyone's actually found is 22 years. So that would have been when I was 16. And I believe I was on Savannah admin I was Savannah admin in high school. So yeah, 16 sounds about right actually for that. And I have never once had a single good interaction on a user's mailing list, even 20 years ago. Like, I don't like getting on dev mailing lists unless I have to. OpenBSD has so far been nice, but I just feel like unless you've done a stupid amount of work that proves that you are not an idiot, you will not get a reply on a fucking mailing list. So a lot of me wanting to check OpenBSD LXC.c basically comes down to this problem. And maybe this is me just being a little bit too much over, like, I remember what it used to take to get things done when I did this professionally. And this is not just Canonical. This was dealing with upstreams in Mixer. Granted, I never tried to upstream Tachyon. They had to re-implement FTL from scratch from my... I feel bad for whoever had to do that. I have not tried Haiku. Sorry, that's not correct. I have tried it a while ago. And when I say a while ago, like well before their 1.0 release. How do I want to put this? Haiku would be completely impractical for me because you could not do video editing on it. What finally made me move off Linux after using it for 16 years was DaVinci Resolve and the video, more specifically the OpenCL pipeline or the CUDA pipeline, falling apart if you looked at it wrong. And sometimes I would have to update drivers because of something else on the system. If I wanted to play a game, sometimes I'd have to update the NVIDIA drivers, and then the whole thing just went to shit. It was worse with with AMD, because AMD had the freaking Rocker drivers, which ran on Magic. Like, I got them working most of the time, but I really felt like the whole stack was not fun, and I had to do some real major effort to make DaVinci Resolve work. And Resolve... There's nothing actually stopping me from just, like, going back to editing my videos with Kdenlive. Like, as I am doing it right now, I could probably go back to this. I've gone back to the simpler style that I started my channel with, but I'm still using Resolve. I could probably go back to using Kdenlive, but there's a lot about Resolve I like, especially with color grading. So it's really nice to be able to reach into the power tools when I need them. I would probably try FreeBSD again. At this point, I am going to be living life off the laptop for at least another few months. I may or may not have my desktop back in operation after when I finally get out of Jersey City, but when I... The desktop may or may not be going into a rack. It may be going with me. I'm not certain as of yet. It's just, its time is approaching towards, not so much storage, but at least getting it out of here so it's safe and ready to go moving forward. I actually brought an entire package of shelves to the storage unit, but I feel like I'm not making good headway on moving out of here. Like, I was hoping to do it by the end of May, but I'm feeling like I was a little bit over optimistic on that goal. Because I'm already at May 8th. I still have most of the furniture here. I just gotta suck it up, and I've gotta load more boxes. It's just right now I'm getting at the point that I'm more throwing things away, and this is mostly just trash and personal effects than I am doing anything else, but I just need to get back to it. it's hard. It's like I'm packing up my life, and part of me feels like I just want to get rid of as much as I can versus I want to keep the channel going, because the honest truth is, the person is, I was happier with less stuff in my life, and I accumulated a fair number of things because of the channel. So now I need to find what the balancing point is. And it's like I'm going through, I don't know what I'm going through, aside from the fact that when all is said and done, I'm going to write about it. And I'm writing about it as I'm going through it now. With the hope, I don't know. Like, when I posted end of season 1 is when I really thought things were going to be changing in my life. It turns out that a lot of bad happened in those two things. Like, I had basically a year of just flat out struggling before I finally found purchase, but things are at least moving in the right direction now. Like, I at least see the road forward, but it's not easy. And there's a lot of aspects I want to talk about, but I'm keeping to myself. I only recently made the decision. What part of what made me decide to start live streaming again is I decided, you know what? I'm okay with the fact that I'm leaving here being on my channel. Like, I'm not saying where I'm going as of yet. It may be some time before I actually do say something like that, and where I'm going to be may be a very transitory experience, but I have bad options. But this is the only way that I have seen myself having a future, period. So I feel like rolling the dice and taking my chances. It could end very badly for me, but at least I'm going into that just eyes wide open. Well, I have a limited liability corporation. One of the big things I did when I put the channel on hiatus at the end of... So the channel went on hiatus, and I stopped making videos at 22. I went about 4 months without doing stuff, and then I started live streaming again. In that time, I actually formed a limited liability corporation. So, and the storage unit that I am paying for right now is being paid for and is actually rented by that LLC. That LLC is staying here in New Jersey. It is the piece of me that I leave behind. That's right now the income from the channel is split 50-50. Half of it goes into the LLC to fund things like the Mastodon server. It funds things like channel purchases. My VCF budget came out of there, so forth and so on. Because the channel mostly sat inactive for about 6 months, my Patreons did not abandon me, so the money, and this does go into its completely separate bank account. The money pooled up over time. So the entire LLC actually has a lot more cash on hand that I am basically just going to use to dedicate to the move. And then past that point, I'm going to try and figure out how to pay myself a salary. I collect the AdSense revenue directly because that predates the LLC, and I would actually have to demonetize my YouTube channel to move it. It sucks. It's a really shitty process. And you know what? This is good enough as the quote-unquote my cut, because End Commander is who I am, and it's been my ID for 20 years. But it's not what I'm trying to build a business around in and of itself. So that's the where I am. We are in the X11 portion. We are getting there. It still has to do the entire freaking sys and user directories, but you know, progress, man. KDE4, that was the very start of my career, was getting that to build on ARM. Yeah, it's still got a fair bit more, but it's getting to the end of ports, and ports by far is the largest thing. So progress. Oh wow! I just saw Cute 2 go by. So one of the next things I'm thinking about doing is I'm going to think about renting one of those GPU cloud instances for running OBS. I want to see if it's even feasible because there's some things that I kind of want to run the NetBSD ATF test suite. I would do that in SimH, but that's literally probably going to take days for it to complete. So I would probably run that in a cloud stream on the main channel. It's almost there. X screensaver. Hey, there we go. We're now into the NetBSD source itself. We are currently traveling through some fascinating code bases. Like, some of those are really, really old. I wonder how many, like, now I'm kind of curious how hard some of these would be to revive, but the Vaxport seems like a nice, good place to start if I'm going to start anywhere. Because I have never done something like this before. This is going to be a very new experience for me. The 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 stupid project in my head long term is I would love to port Darwin back to my next station. I've had this idea for a long time. I don't know if I have the technical skills to actually do it, but it would be interesting to try. The old BSD games collection. I would go with 10.4 because that's the last one you can compile into a full operating system. And yeah. I mean, OpenBSD feels like it's NetBSD 1.0 with PF. Then again, I mean, the BSDs went places Linux never did. There was never a VAX Linux port. There was never a Motorola 88K port. There's a few other ones. Oh, that's going to take a while. That's going to take a good while for that to check out. There's enough people that want to. The fact of the matter is that OS Dev is a very eccentric bunch. There are people like Neozed and I were the two that figured out how to build Darwin O.3, which there's been, like I said, Darwin has this weird fan base, myself included, mostly because it's an open source operating system from a major corporation. It's kind of the interest for me, especially because it's Next Step. Like, I find Next Step fascinating, and like to poke it even in its macOS form is always really cool. I mean, I also worked on Herd as a hobbyist project, so I've got a fair bit of experience of looking at how mock works under the hood. Yeah, we're going to be here for a while. If it's going to go and download EGCS and keep going, we are going to be here for a while. But this is another reason why Git is going to help. I'm going to be able to look at their toolchain and see what the hell they've been doing to it. That is a lot of GCC. man. Like, I know this is a one-time process. I'm basically, the reason you do this if you're doing actual development is so you don't have to do CVS for, like, you can do it locally, and you can even commit locally on your own branch, which I guess is, like, not end of the world bad, but again, I still want to be able to move against branches and rebase. Now we're downloading LLVM. So much compilers, so much wow. That's interesting. I actually just I put OpenBSD in Google, and it's my stream is actually coming up for it because there's not a lot of OpenBSD content on YouTube, and live streams tend to get priority. Katie, I'm okay. No one is telling me that I have to do this to prove my existence. Realistically, let me be honest, development with Git is better than development with CVS. If I'm really, like, I don't even know how bad it is to actually to revive the Vax port. You know, even if just on my own, like, I'm not going to, like, send the patches to Fio. Like, no, I'm not going to do that. This would be something that I would just keep on Git and make the binaries available. This is, like, entirely for my own amusement. Oh yeah, Google search results so personalized. That makes really good sense. Yeah, I could see YouTube recommending myself to myself. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. Like, longer term, I need to make some pretty... I have to decide what I'm going to do with the channel longer term. Like, right now, the channel is named after my old, a handle that I've used since I was 14. It's like, on one hand, this is who I've been for. It's like, if am I happy and comfortable with how it is right now? It's like, I need to I don't know. I've had some very complex feelings towards the channel as a whole, especially in the last few months, since I've made the decision to actually come back and actually been putting serious time into making this channel go again. Oh, RMS with cancer? Like, let me put it like this. I'm not going to ask. I don't want to see people suffer. So I hope that he's at least not in pain. That's all I can really say. Like, I don't like the guy. I recognize he's done good, but it's like, there's enough pain in the world as is. All I gotta say on that one. We are still in LLVM. Restless BSD. I kind of like that. Maybe that might be the joke. The Restless BSD Vax release. Oh god, I almost like that. I kind of do almost like that. Yeah, we're currently watching a lot of files in the attic. God, LLV, that is actually really cursed because LLVM has never been in CVS. It should not have an attic. I mean, let's be honest, we all die sometime. RMS isn't going to live forever. No, you know, no one lives forever. What it comes down to is, what do we want our legacies to be when we leave behind? And really, there's very few things we have control of in our lives, and one of the very few things that is ours choice, a person's choice, uniquely theirs, is how they treat others. And when you when you are gone, what you leave behind are memories. People remember me because they've watched my videos, because they've known me in real life, something like that. And I hope that those are good memories for those people. Not everyone makes those decisions. I don't know. I wish I could claim like that was super profound, but it's also I I recently watched I'm a longtime watcher of Red versus Blue. And memory has been a big theme of that series, and they just had the series finale. So it got referenced quite a bit. So it was definitely a rushed finale, but like I walked away satisfied. It wasn't like watching the finale of Battlestar Galactica, which was so terrible it retroactively ruined the series for me. Like, I've heard that there are worse finales, but that was the one that just even years later, I still look at that finale. And I have rewatched it. I actually did rewatch the series once after the original broadcast line, and it was like, nope, yep. Farscape. Now, the way to describe Farscape is that drugs are made on Farscape. That is the only way to describe that show. Sorry, I just have nothing else to add. Like, I'm literally just sitting here. One of the big things I do want to do with the Vax is I do want to see if I can get Mach 86 running on it. if I can actually get Mach 86, we could conceivably run a full BSD 4.3 userland on it. And the reason why I think Mach 86 has a chance is that all I would have to do is add a CPU definition file for the KA45 from what it looks like from the source code. And it supports remote file system AT&T RFS. So conceivably, I could netboot the damn thing. I mean, I guess we're just going to be sitting here watching files for a while longer. Thanks for all 90 of you that are sitting here. It's like, it's awesome. Yeah, I did hear be out the XZ backdoor, and it's like, I am not surprised. Um, I have had access to some very sensitive systems in my past, and it's like, let me put it like this. This attack model has been in my head for about 15 years. My only surprise is it took this long for it to actually become, for it to actually happen. Because I was a Debian developer, and I still am an Ubuntu core developer. I can, there has been known cases where people have backdoor. There was a case. I don't remember what the package name was, but there was a dispute between the Debian developer package maintainer and the upstream. The upstream put a detection check in the package that if it was running on the DD's computer, it would not crash, but it would crash everywhere else. And this has happened a few times. So it's not completely unknown. This is just the first time that I think a nation state has actually done it or has been caught. Well, a lot of projects really are short-handed. Like, when you run a volunteer project, you work with who shows up, and you don't always have choice. I don't know if I should actually say what percentage of the internet I think I could have destroyed. I've discussed this on Discord a couple of times, but I have had that thought of like what a rogue actor could do if they could sneak a time bomb into, like, there's like, if a rogue developer for a major distribution decided to put a backdoor in that did RMRF slash, I really wonder what percentage of the internet would just disappear. I've had this thought before. It would not be 100%. I can tell you that for sure. Because something like that would get detected eventually. What it would more come down to is how many machines would it affect before the update got revoked. Yeah, it's happened. Steam did that. Steam, there was a rather famous case where I think they blew away like 30 users' home folders where they did that. I mean, here, let me put it like this. How much of the internet breaks when something like leftpad gets deleted? Like, just imagine if someone went in with leftpad, instead of just deleting it for npm, the author put silent malware in it. How long would it go before that actually got detected? I'm sorry, I'm out of commentary. I streamed more this week than I think I have in the last. Well, I know it's more than the last 6 months, but I'm making up for lost time. It's almost at the end. It's in tools. God, I almost wonder if I should add one of those stupid game things to the chat just so we have something to do. I don't even feel like playing NetHack though. Like I'm not dead like I was like when I was doing some of the NetBSD. Like I looked at myself on some of those streams and it's just like, phew. I actually haven't been looking at the full backdoor to see how it works, but it doesn't surprise me. Like, I kind of fell out of InfoSec over time. Also, the channel is just short of crossing 40k subscribers. Oh, did I lose some today? Oh yeah, no, I lost 2. I was 20 subscribers. I'm 22 subscribers short of 40k. Like, it would be nice to finally get over that hump. Most cursed OS I've used. Ooh, that's a hard one. Embedded. If I count embedded, it would probably be Broadcom's Wicked. Well, at the time it was Broadcom. Yeah, at the time it was Broadcom. I forgot who owns it now. Desktop. I have to think on this one. I actually probably. I'm not sure I'd actually call it cursed, but it's the Bosk of computing is Stratus Voss would probably be that. The closest thing it resembles is Dominion OS. It's been called Dominion in a Matchbox. I haven't used ECOS, although I am familiar with Red Boot, and I've never directly worked with VxWorks. Or Domain OS, not Dominion. Domain OS. Those were the, for Apollo. Like, there's definitely a few other ones I definitely want to take out for a spin, but right now I'm kind of good with getting down to the roots. Like, this is feeling like good Unix feel right now, and I believe I just an excellent. Oh yeah, I already read that super chat. Herd L4 was weird, although I don't think I ever actually booted it up. Markel, GCC should support VxWorks. You should be able to compile GCC 11 targeting it, although good luck if you actually try to do so. Jan Winter, thank you for becoming a Seeker supporter. Okay. Right now, we're just trying to turn OpenBSD's. I just realized that the to-do list says OpenSBC. Oh, man. It's just... Like I said, this has been a week, and it's not been a good week. Although I do feel, like I said, I do feel so much lighter than I have in a while. Hugs always welcome. I'm alright. I'm just... I don't know. It's like, yeah, I'm just basically kind of... Like I said, I suppose all things considered, the way I keep looking at it is I keep trying to be thankful for what I do have in my life, but it doesn't help that I'm going through what has not been a very fun period. But I also can tell in my manner and demeanor that I am in a much better place than I've been in quite a long time. So, on that basis alone, I seem to be doing the right thing. This is really going to take fucking forever, isn't it? Like, we still have to download the rest of the BSD source code. Well, we'll get there. We'll get there. Mono repos are just, like, fun-ish. I mean, this isn't even installing Gentoo. This is just waiting for emerge sync to go. I mean, we haven't even gone to the starting of it. I didn't think it was going to take this long. We've been streaming for 2 hours 20 minutes, and it took me about 15 minutes to install OpenBSD. So this was unexpectedly long. It's fine. I'm feeling pretty wide awake. Oh God, how many copies of bin utilities is it going to pull down? You know, I just realized if I switch to the other terminal, I don't think it makes a difference, does it? No, it doesn't make a difference. Nope, OpenBSD still uses CVS. I am downloading the comma SV files. This might actually hurt because it's going to download bin utility. Oh god, how many versions of bin utilities is it going to fucking download? Oh lord, this is gonna take a while. Yes, it's not only going to download all the versions, it's going to be duplicating. My god. Oh, did the music? The music may just be too soft. Hold on. Let me see here. Why did we lose the music? Because I hear it. Oh, that's why, because I had it on the wrong audio output. Alright. Music's back. Alright, so we're going to be watching a... no, the problem is that... the problem is that CVS doesn't handle renaming files well. Hopefully we're doing okay on disk space. Oh, I'm on this window. That explains it. How are we doing? We've used 3 gigabytes, so yeah, we're okay. We're fine. We are completely fine. I don't know if we'll be fine by the time we're completely done, but the ports, I believe, were the biggest one to download. The stream is running on a MacBook Pro. We are currently on OpenBSD. Just... I just went with the defaults of the OpenBSD installer. I should have probably just installed it. I really probably should have just installed it to, I mean, it really doesn't make a difference. I can always add another file system because I believe there's unallocated space. I just need to figure out how to do that. You know, I can always add a second hard drive. Let me put it like that. It was, I'm running it in UTM. It's virtualized. I would not try running this on bare metal. I actually need this laptop to work, so it's going to be running Mac OS. But a lot of the, it does seem to work pretty well in UTM. Well, at least now we're just to bin utilities. I mean, we're going the right way here. least it looks like it's almost there. I just saw CVS checking out CVS. Ah, there we go. I like I said, I haven't done all that much with OpenBSD in the past, but I've been having fun with it. And I find it interesting. Like, again, this is sparkling Unix like. No, sorry, this isn't sparkling. This is maple flavored Unix like, because it's Canadian BSD. It actually is. So about that BSD. Yeah, cvs2git is going to be painful. And I'm really, really hoping we're going to get the tags. I've never done it on a repo this size. I've never done it from CVS before, which, oh, that's the music. That just scared me. All right, so let me look here. So CVS, to get. Well, hold on. There's also CVS to CVS. Here it is. CVS. Okay, so it's CVS to SVN. I almost wonder if that's the better way to do it, because then going the last bit is not as hard, but here we go. Example options. I'm looking for the CVS to get stuff right now, just to get an idea of what this is actually going to take. Oh, someone just did a something. Can I install... I could install OpenBSD to a Raspberry Pi. I have one. I have NetBSD on it right now, so... I think I'm going... You know, you're making an argument for me to do simultaneous streaming to Twitch. Although I'm worried it's on my end. Or I wonder if they're... I don't know. I'm just currently looking through this config file to get an idea of what this is going to take. It's probably not the end of the world. Yeah, exclude paths. Okay, hold on. There's an FAQ.md. How to convert part of a repository. Let's see here. Multi-project conversions, the option files to convert. I think I do think that's probably why the tags are screwed up, because they probably didn't convert the entire repo. They only converted /source, but CVS that would explain a lot. May not. I still probably converting the entire converting the whole thing sounds like the right way to go. Sorry, I'm just reading the documentation for this, just to get an idea of what this is actually going to be like. Probably have to go through. I just branch some of his tag, symbol henceforth tag, symbol default, conventional. Multi-project, CVN passes. Like, I almost feel like I'm going to... I guess it doesn't really matter if I do it into Subversion or not, as long as the tags get there. Okay, looks like we are getting towards the bottom, because we're now at lengths. So there's probably not too much left to go. Okay, so there is a Docker file here. I probably, I almost feel like I should have done this on, well, being on ARM64 actually makes this annoying, because I don't think Jesse I could have done this on Jesse. I would have to have had an Intel system. Oh, that's going to kind of suck. Let me see here. Let me keep looking. I'm just looking through the code just to figure out how. Like, I really. Oh, wow, that is actually a lot of code. Like, yeah, I don't want to fix that. I really don't want to fix that. Odds are I can get Python 2 to run, though. I probably didn't need to run... Like, I could have run this on Linux, but... meh. We'll have an interesting time of it. Here, now we're downloading Perl. I mean, it doesn't look terrible. It just needs Python 2x, which let me see if let me look in the OpenBSD ports, because that'll give me an idea. Or not ports. Let me look at packages. Or this works. So is Python 2.7 still... Yeah, Python 2.7 is available for arch64. So that's easy enough. We might need a Subversion library. I don't know. Like, let's look at the Docker file. Like, what does it need? Here, an oldest version of the Subversion library. Oh, because it probably needs to use BSD DB3. That makes perfect sense, but hopefully with Git it doesn't have that problem. There's nothing useful here as far as if I want to make it go to Bazaar, it's like whatever. All right, yeah, yeah, it doesn't look horrible, is what I guess I'm going to say here. I have a Gen 3 Pi. The thing is that every time I do something with a Pi, it either is complete overkill or not enough. But I always have one on my desk that I use stuff. I remember Big Endian ARM. That's where I basically one of my earliest starts was from there. I wonder how close we are to the end, because it still has to do the entire sys repo, but that is just the kernel. I also do want to make a backup of this, because that feels just like a smart idea. I don't want to have to do this twice. Because this has been going for almost 3 hours at this point. Like, I'm shocked at how slow this is. I wonder, like, now if there's, like, options I could make it to make it do multiple threads for rsync for repo sync, but because it is just rsync at the end of the day. It's like maybe there were ways to make it go faster, but at this point, it actually, you know what? I'll look. I'll tell you. I'll see how far from the end it actually is. If it's in source GNU, it's still gotta get text info, but that looks like that's the last major one it's got. It's got a bunch of little small stuff, but yeah, this looks like this is the last major thing it's gotta download. So yeah, it's almost there. God, I have built Perl way too many times in my life. I've almost attempted to been trying to build Perl on and try and get some of the funny configure messages out of it. So now we're dealing with Unicode code, Unicore code. You really, it's like, I'm not sure if NetBSD has Perl in its base system, but you kind of have to appreciate how much both this has and hasn't changed over the years. Hey, look, OS2 support. Plan 9 support. Is my wait, is this my laptop load factor? Is it really that high? Because, you know, I do hear the fan going, and I now wonder. Oh, that wasn't good. Oh, I gotta fix that. When I installed, I opened a new terminal. Hold on. Is it disable? Now I should be able to hopefully open a new terminal. Nope. Oh, frig. I set the option that accidentally makes it... Is it launcher? Yeah, I think it's uninstall. Alright, let's see if I can open a new terminal over here. Nope. Every time I open a new terminal, it does that. That is really irritating. How do I make it stop it doing that? Okay, I'm gonna have to figure that out in a bit. Wow, Kerberos 4 support. Yeah, I know it's... No, the problem is that every time I open a new terminal, it automatically opens. Unless... You know what, maybe I can detach. Maybe I can detach and I can poke around it. Control B, D. Okay, that did detach it. And then I get process complete. So... Hold on. New command, bin bash. Yeah, it's hijacking the, like, I can't open a new terminal. It keeps pulling this one up. If I open a new terminal now... Nope, that doesn't work. Oh, nope. If I detach here, I get process complete. Oh, hold on. You know what? Maybe I can open a C shell, because it's got to be doing... Hey, there we go. I finally have a command prompt. Now maybe I can figure out why it is doing that. I actually used the C shell. Nope, that didn't do it. I did actually use the C shell for something useful. I remember when that was the default on Mac OS. There's probably people that still use it. There we go. Okay. Now I can open a new terminal on the other screen and it will not pull everything down. And we are now in libc. Nice. Progress. I'm just kind of in my own headspace right now. So libcrypto. One of the few things, like I said, I have at least managed to find a lot of reprieve from the stress of my life. Like the ongoing nightmare is passing, is the easiest way I'd put it. I've never used fish, or I think I've tried it once or twice, but I know that a lot of people do use it. I just have learned to just use whatever shell's the default, because changing the default just gets annoying. I guess, so what's the big advantage of fish then? Okay. So we're in the libc, or all the other libraries. Oh yeah, I have seen that. Maybe I'll try that. I at this point I am very flexible in trying new ways to get in touch with my console. Is the way I'm going to go with this. Here's Libre SSL. Sorry. What's GML? I'm assuming that's something like bash completions based off the context. So many deleted algorithms. So much wow. I don't know. I feel like I just live like within very. I feel like very caveman with my shell. Like I only recently learned how things like. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just seeing what's going on in Discord. Not much. Quiet night tonight. Maybe I'll get Chinese tomorrow. That sounds really tasty. Oh god, tomorrow's Thursday. Oh. Sparkle Hype Guy, thank you for the the $3 monthly tip. That's awesome. Well, now it's downloading all the certificates. I still don't know, like... Now, hold on. I do actually want to look at HTOP on this laptop. Or top. Oh. Oh. Yeah. Just to show you why my laptop is running a little bit. Load average of 30. I'm using 23 gigs of memory. I should probably stop something. Because I know what that is. That's the ATF test running on a different VM. I should gain back some processor power. This machine is not as powerful as Apple claims it to be. I mean, it has some idle time, but still. Let me actually get in there and, like, you know, stop this thing. Oh no, it is actually done, finished running. So it did actually run the tests and passed. I'll have to run the report later. So okay. It's still downloading all the regressions and stuff. I've spent a fair bit of time north of the border. I've driven through most of the Yukon. It's a lot of empty is the easiest way to describe Canada. It's an M2 actually, but yeah. Like, I always find going to Canada a fascinating experience. That's the easiest way to describe it. Almost to the end of the regression tests. Yeah. I mean, I've been to both the eastern extreme and western extreme of Canada. I was to St. John's and I drove to Alaska, which means that I crossed on the 76 parallel between the United States and not. Like, you don't appreciate how empty Canada is when you reach Dawson Creek and you still know that there, and like that's a town of like five, like I think it's like 2,000 at most. It's one of the larger ones, and it just keeps getting smaller. Like, the next major anything is Whitehorse. Yeah, I mean, I will say that I really appreciate going to Confederation Bridge. It was the single most Canadian thing I've ever had because the federal government of Canada had to apologize for naming something after Canada. Um, I kid you not, this is a thing that actually exists. Because Confederation Bridge was named after the Canadian Confederation after the Quebec referendum in 1995. And apparently in Canada, there's a problem with naming things after Canada. It's getting a little self-referential. But the feds decided that Confederation Bridge, or as it was known prior, the Fixed Link, needed a little bit more Canada. It needed a little bit more maple syrup. All right, we're down. We're getting through the utilities. We're almost to the end. Sorry, I again don't know what else to say. We're literally just going to have to like sit here and wait. Okay, right now I'm also looking at like some of the source code here, just to get the idea of what this is going to look like. Log decoder. Yeah, I think I just need to run C. I don't even think I have to do any options. I think really because the OpenBSD devs split it into 5 projects on GitHub, it lost its tags. Although I don't know why that would actually break it, but it's annoying. Thanks for the $10 tip, Seabass Apologist. More dead architectures. HP 300. That was, I believe that's a, what is HP 300? I'll look that up. (1970s), like, so, wow, some of that code must be absolutely ancient. That is a computer. Did OpenBSD run on one of these? It's like, seems a little bit. Let me pull up the Wikipedia page. Yeah, sorry, I was just looking through the Wikipedia page. Wow, I'm more tired than I realize. What I'll probably end up doing, because I have this horrible feeling this is going to run for quite a few hours, is I will let it. I'll start the CVS. Once we get CVS to get going, I'll let it go, and then I'll just start checking the stream at regular intervals, because I may just lay down for a while. Okay. Well, if the Vax port is unmaintainable going forward, we'll see one of the other ones. But like I said, the reason I'm a little optimistic we might be able to is because the Vax port just saw a massive tool train update. I assume Motorola 680XO would have also gone one, because that's another platform that just refuses to die. Hey, look, there's all the Vax code. God, I remember Zarus's. Like, I really remember those. All right, now we're getting to the dev drivers. God, Motorola 88K stuff. That's about as close to unobtainium as it actually gets. At least here in North America. I do know they're a little bit more common in Japan. Yeah, I think we're just going to be downloading drivers and... I'm not convinced I'm actually going to do this, but like I said, the idea of... I have a VAC system right here, and it seems like a good project to do if I really am serious about trying to do OS dev again. I'm just astounded that, like, it would be nice if they had a tarball that you could download it. Like, we tried 2 different servers. I think rsync is just a little slow with a lot of small files. That's kind of been my experience with it in the past. I give it another 10 minutes or so before it's done. Yeah, all the DRM stuff is probably straight out of Linux. Or like not straight out of Linux, but well, that part is include Linux. Well, now we're in syskern, libkern. Like, it's amazing seeing how, like, what it looks like with the attic versus not attic. But it also reminds me of how much, like, um, Happy Happy Joy Joy from, I just say Happy Happy Joy Joy, but, like, you know, like, imagine if all that stuff was still in there, although it would also be, like, just a giant mess. So now we're getting all the BSD utilities. This isn't CVS. This is rsync. We're rsyncing down the entire CVS repo. There's Lex, there's libtool, login, M4, mail, make, a whole bunch of other things. You know, I should try MG as an adder. Like, I've been using Vim, but maybe something that isn't modal might be easier. Although I don't really remember Emacs key shortcuts much better than Vim's. So... Once a Vim user, always... No, VS Code is what I use most of the time these days, but there's no console VS Code. So we just have user or sbin left, and I think then we're done. Well, there's Yak, Acme, ACPI dump. So a whole bunch of utilities here. I've never used micro, like I said. The editor choices when I learned actual Unix were ed, vi, Emacs, and Pico. And Pico, Emacs and Pico you rarely had. Vi was pretty standard. Like, the problem is that every Vi was a little bit different, which was not so good. Oh, my leg's a little tired. Makes videos on God and makes videos on Ed. That is a mood. That is all I can describe that as. I don't know. This music is feeling a little bit too upbeat and bubbly for this chat conversation. I just realized, how is it like 9 o'clock? Alright, given that's the case, I want to just find my cell phone so I'm charging it. Where is my cell phone? Phone is plugged in, so I will be able to set an alarm for tomorrow. Looks like we are just about at the end of this. Oh, it's going to download the web page. Okay, yep, that's fine. This is fine. This is fine. Just when you think it's done, it's not done. Why is this Banish folder in the attic? Did they... I assume that was just certain pages. There's no done, only bin utils. No, we've made no actual... we're near the bottom of the archive, but every time I think it's near done, it's not actually quite near done. That being said, I can't imagine that the website is that many files. It doesn't seem likely. I am going to take a backup of this. Because I don't want to accidentally the repo. They have JPEGs in source control. Oh boy. Oh. I'm happy because everyone loves me. .jpeg. These file names. These file names are very 90s. The problem is that CVS is notoriously bad at holding binary files. Like, it does work, but it's not good at it. Oh god. Oh god. Xenocera. Oh. 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 Puffy V. Cthulhu, you know what? That's exactly how I'm feeling right now. That's exactly how I'm feeling right now. There has to be a better way. I'm actually going to look and see if there's a way to make repo sync go faster. Although then I'd have to control C it, and it's like, no one is yelling at me telling me I did something to make it slow. Like, there's got to be a way. There has got to be a way to make this faster. I should have looked at this like a while ago, but better late than never. Oh, you can actually disable some of the sets. I could have skipped. Damn it. It's the combined X. I'm actually going to control C this, actually, then. Well, actually, where is that running? I think that's running here. Yeah, so that's running repo sync. So, what do I actually have to kill here? I guess kill all 9 rsync. Okay. Oh yeah, so it was this window that... So let me go to Home CVS. And if we go to Source... Is this possibly all I need? I didn't realize I didn't need to get the whole ports repo, but it's like, oh well. Today I learned. All right, sets. Okay, so that should be fine. Then that will... It should just have to check the files. Yeah, I have ports, but I don't need ports. I just need source. And while this is going, then let me... While that's doing its thing, let me package add CVS to SVN. Because I did see it there, but we might have to go retrieve it. Okay, so I can't find it. So, okay, then we'll just check it out. So can I package add Python 2? It's probably Python 2.7. So, I'm not sure the other thing this actually needs. Is it just Python 2? Wonder if anyone's got a more up-to-date version of this. Just taking a look. Does not appear so. Package info QA Python. Really, no examples. Alright, let's see here. Can we get Python installed? I have that sensation Python 2 is... No, Python 2 is available. Okay, there it goes. Python 2.7 processing. Cool. That is useful. So here we go. Repo sync. Oh. Thank you. Patrick Ross, thank you for the subscription. Okay. CVS. Show branches. Because I want to make sure we got all the data here. We know that Python, we know this is out of date. So let's pull the repo. Alright, result. Wow, this just feels very slow, even though I guess it shouldn't be. Alright, Python 2 setup py. Alright, cool. That works. Alright, so let me create just make a backup copy of the source. Just in case something bad happens. So we'll just back that up real quick. I don't think the VM's misconfigured. I just think... What is my laptop currently doing? I mean, it's OBS that's using most of the processing power. What is OBS doing? Is it possibly the record buffer? Like if I tell it to stop running the record buffer, what is it? No, that doesn't make any real difference. Just OBS is using up a lot of the everything. Well, Streamlabs. Granted, I do have another VM running, but it shouldn't be using that much processing power. Alright, so now that we've got cvs2git, alright, so let's figure out what the options look like. Blob data should be written trunk only. Symbol default, force tab. So I guess... So output option would be cvs2git. So let's do a dry. So let's just do a dry run. Dry run. Okay, so why did you error out? Must pass only one CVS repository. Output option. Oh, does it just not, like, take an output? I guess that's what it does. Alright, so if I just do that, what happens? We're dry running, so I'm not too worried. Writing temporary files there, examining all passes. Wow, it is taking a very long time to write that backup file. That is really taking its time to write its backup file. You know what? It's non-root. It can't actually damage anything, so I think we're just gonna let it run. Or hold on, I think I'm gonna have to make some configuration options here. CVS to SVN. So here's CVS options. So where is it? What is it actually used for the output? That's the part that I don't quite get. Blob file where the revision date should be arranged should not create any pattern. So here, can be migrating. Okay, so here's more instructions on how to do it. So, blob file, dump file, username, and then you do a fast. Okay, so that's okay. So that's actually not too bad. So, so we don't need to do a dry run. We need to do blob file. And dump file. And then go. So now it's going to start examining all these files. Does OpenBSD just have like a slow file system? Because that ain't fast. Like, what was that message? Multiple definitions of the same symbol. Yeah, it's like, okay. So, alright, let's just let it run and see what happens. I suspect it's just because I have a lot of stuff running on this laptop right now. Like, let me see if I can get a bit more back. Like, I'm just seeing what else is running that I could potentially shut down. I mean, it's probably about the most I'm going to get unless I switch into the other session. Like, let me just see if this is... Because I have Cume running on the other account. Alright, that should just free up a whole bunch of CPU. I just killed the NetBSD instance on the other side. I mean, I could just leave this running, and maybe I will. I kind of want to get ready for bed, because honestly, I'm starting to fade. It's 10 o'clock here, and I don't want to stay up later than I have to. Especially because if I fall asleep now, it will be good for tomorrow, so... I'm going to go start getting ready for bed. I may just leave the stream running if people want to watch the progress. Yeah, alright. I'm going to turn off the mic. I'm going to get ready for bed. And then we'll see how far it is when I get back. I brushed my teeth. This is going to run for a really long time. At least we have it running. I'm just kind of debating right now if I want to leave the stream running for people to watch, or if I just kind of want to shut it down. Like, I'm not going to fall asleep just yet, but I'm also kind of like there. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to call it here. I think I'll leave this stream up. This has got basically everything I had to do this, which admittedly wasn't actually that difficult. I was expecting this to be a little bit more harder than that, but at least I put stuff down on it. So yeah, I think I'm going to call this one here. It's probably going to be a less than interesting stream, but I think I'll catch you all later. Until next time, this is your host, N Commander, signing out and wishing you all a pleasant day. I will post a community post with it done and with the GitHub conversion being done. If it doesn't work, we'll look at it then, and then, yeah. Till then, catch you later.